So, let's get on to highlights. And the first one I think we should give the front row seat to is Your Early Mate.
I have to go first, alright.
I mean, why
Okay,
not?
Sean can go first.
You are the RWBY expert after all.
Yeah,
Uh, Honestly, I think, like, the writing is super solid in this season. Like, one of my favorite, like, back and forths, I was rewatching episode 4, and it's when they first meet the herbalists, and it's just, like, through the leaves, what are you? I'm so tired of that question. Emerges, and it's just this caterpillar creature asking, what question? And the girls are all like creeped out. What are you? And he just responds, oh, that question.
yeah, there were some funnies this season.
Yeah, and even just like some of the background animation details, like go back through certain episodes and watch specific characters, you'll notice something new. Like, hell, like in a lot of scenes, Little tries to like mimic a lot of RWBY's mannerisms. And it's just tiny details like that you can miss, and it's like, oh, that's really cute. And okay, you know what, I'll save that for a whole other thing.
We know, that's why I wanted you to go first.
No, another big highlight for me was Summer. We finally get to see the RWBY's mother.
Yeah, and that was really nice and beautiful to see.
Yeah, and I won't lie, not even kind of, I cry at a specific line that she has that's brought back in the finale. And it's when she tells RWBY and Yang, I love you just the way you are. And I get teary-eyed because that's something that my own mother has said to me.
Yeah, it's a sweet moment.
Yeah. And I can definitely say Summer, second best RWBY mother.
Gee, I wonder who he thinks is first.
Just gonna say, she's hot. She's a MILF. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Ty is a lucky guy.
Nah.
The moment they showed her full moment, I was just like, I think I'm attracted to MILFs as well as muscular women.
Speaking of,
she's fine.
Bruh,
That's all I'm saying.
Do I need to remind you, you drool over Sindel?
Listen, sometimes the more mature woman is just what I want.
Also, that interaction, like that whole scene between Ty and Summer, that was just adorable. And it was super nice hearing Boney again.
Be real here, we all need a Bernie in our lives. I was really sad when I heard he left Rooster Teeth. I was like, no.
Well, I mean, it was because he was moving to another country, but he still like comes back for voicing Ty.
I know. Bernie Burns, man, he's the funniest man that was on Rooster Teeth. Just him as Church, man. Like, I would listen to a whole... Yeah, I've listened to the podcast when he used to be on there a lot.
Well, and, you know, that's another role he comes back for as Church, although apparently not Lopez anymore.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've... Like, you know what my big highlight of this volume is.
I was actually just about to say, because of Bernie, I knew how to swear in Spanish a lot.
Yeah, I think you are just ready to talk about the one moment in episode 6.
Well, not only that, but some other moments leading up to it. Like, Blake just tackle-hugging Yang in the first episode. Like, remembering what Blake was like in the early seasons, if you told me at one point she would do that...
You would not...
I don't know if I would believe you.
Yeah.
And
hey, just get to it. We know what you want to talk about.
No, and like when I said like if I watched the episode before Max, yeah, for him it would have started at that moment because I was just going back and rewatching that tackle hug.
Jesus Christ.
And To my surprise and delight, Blake making puns in the second episode. In fact, twice as many as Yang had throughout all previous volumes.
This just shows that the team has really learned from each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not my favorite character, but I won't lie. She did get some chuckles out of me this season.
Also, I got to make a vague, like, spoiler/not spoiler out of it. And it was just saying something that happened in my fanfiction happened in episode 2, and of all things, it's just Blake making puns.
If only they were right. Your fanfiction came out like a few months as they were writing this volume, though. They read your fanfiction like, we're gonna take this idea, thanks.
Maybe that specific thing, not most of it.
Yeah, the thing. They would take one thing from it and then just be like, let's go on our merry way.
Like Neo's song.
Yeah, and like, you know what I've been putting off talking about.
Get over there!
Episode 6, when the thunderstorm happens, they're on those like rickety bridges. They have their confession and finally kiss. Like, I cried at that scene. Like,
The day Twitter went bonkers.
I'd just
I
say they're
am not
free.
even kidding. It was like this literally for one full week. Bumblebee was #1 trending here in the United States for a week straight because of that scene.
I'm
Yeah,
just glad
I
one of
even
my
saw-
mates doesn't use Twitter anymore because she would have been spoiled.
I saw like Bumblebee, Blake, and/or Yang trending so regularly.
The only other time I can recall this ever happened to the internet was when Steve was invited into Smash Bros.
I thought you were going to say Steve the Elephant. I was like, wait, when the fuck was he trending?
That is just insane to think about. Like, and I would argue that Bumblebee was only better because Steve broke the internet by accident. Bumblebee at least didn't break the internet, so hooray!
Broke the fandom. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, just like all the fans like being super happy that this finally happened. All the reaction videos of people crying, including Barbara and Aaron.
I don't know
I have
why.
seen that reaction. It
I
is
don't know
kind of
why,
cute.
but just saying that, just me saying what I said, just imagine Steve clapping like he does in Smash Bros. Just at Bumblebee trending on Twitter now. Just be like, "Hey, you're breaking the internet! Good job!"
Does he clap?
He kind of
Yeah,
does in
and
Smash
Tom.
Bros.
And
Yeah, but
look,
ow.
I've cried at media multiple times. Like, I've cried watching the Pokemon anime, the ending of Persona 4, Avengers Endgame. Like, there's plenty of things that have made me cry. But I honestly can't think of another show or piece of media that's got me to cry like that through just happiness. Or just like how beautifully put together the scene was. Like, even to a point where, I'm not even gonna lie, the music itself kind of does it. Because it sounds like, the best way I can describe how it sounds, like the build-up to it, is like Casey Williams cloned herself, and then with her clones made the Casey Clone Choir. That's what it sounds like to me.
Bruh.
Saying it's a whole case of Casey's.
Basically.
In that case, I rest my Casey. Not ashamed of that. It's all that message. Oh, hold on, I think I have a video that I can respond to that with.
God damn you both. Look, I still think it's just insane just to see what exactly that scene did. It is insane to see, you know, the whole response to it and everything. Although I did find it funny that some people pointed up Yang tried to cop a feel with the Bella Booty. I think that's just funny.
Oh, yeah.
I never noticed that.
Bill, I have an image for that.
I almost said something I shouldn't have, so I'm gonna stay quiet. God damn it!
Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay, I had to zoom in really far, but I can kind of make it out. That's about how they're making out on screen. Me and mate actually did kind of joke about this behind us when we were just talking about this episode. Given how long they cut away from the scene to follow Jean and the others, it was a whole 2 minutes. So I just like to imagine they were just holding that kiss for that long, that they were just getting into it. Which, funny enough, a few days later, AG posted that comic, which...
I know the one you mean. Like with the...
Now, people, it is ba-la-la-la-la-la. That's what she's saying. She's made this clear.
And I'm just there like, oh, they're like a high school couple.
In a high school couple that, you know, can tear you in half.
I mean, I like
Not in the fun way.
I mean, eh.
Look, listen, Yang's not my favorite anymore, but she can tear me in half if she wants to.
And hey, those two were going at it during that.
As much
Also,
as
just like the moment
Sorry.
everyone sees them, the only way that scene could have been better is if after Yang asked, "Did we miss anything?" just like Weiss or someone goes, "Did we?" Also, the gasp squeak that Ruby has, like,
It's cute.
it's just too cute. I love it.
Congrats, Ruby, your sister finally has a girlfriend.
I did mention in my review, like, I didn't really give a shit about this, and I think that did get me some fights. I did get 5 dislikes. I'm pretty sure it's for that reason. That's not me saying I hate this ship. I won't lie, the scene's adorable.
Yeah, and
I may not be a fan of the ship, but it's fucking adorable. I'm not emotionless. I don't have a dark heart, people. Just wanted to set the record straight because that review got a bit of backlash.
Yeah, and I also want to just bring up, because I do discussions with Max a lot. He's never been like into this idea, but never been against it. But after a while, realizing, oh yeah, no, they're going that way, he was like, you know what, it will make a friend of mine happy. So like, I'm honestly for it for that reason, if anything.
Still remember all the moments you would bring it up during previous Max and Mate videos. He just sounded so like there was so much dread in his one, and you just tormenting him with it. I don't know. It was entertaining.
Now listen, like the thing with Bumblebee,
Hey, I wore him down eventually.
I remember talking to Mate about
broke
this.
him.
I remember talking to Mate about this. That I just wanted Bumblebee to be written better than it was starting out to be, and I definitely think this moment alone just makes it all worth it in the end of the day.
Oh, totally. And I was gonna go into like more of Max's full process. Just like this scene was done so triumphantly and so beautifully that honestly, how can you hate it? And he watches a lot of romantic comedy anime and gets invested in like various ships and various forms of media.
Please tell me he watches Uzuki-chan Wants to Hang Out, because that one's just great.
No idea. But I asked him if he believes that Blake and Yang have earned their relationship, because it's a thing that Monty believed in. It's just like, it's not something they want to throw in there just for the sake of it. Like, it has to be earned.
I've always found that kind of weird. I mean, I'm not a romance story writer, but the whole a romance story needs to be earned. I don't know why. That just sounds weird to me. It's almost like sounding like, I don't know, like a main character arc of learning to fight better. Does a romance story need to be earned? Like, isn't it the whole point is just to be cute? Just like, oh, look at them, they're together. I mean, I've never had that feeling before.
I would say
Maybe
more
it's 'cause
so.
I'm a monster.
I would more so say that, like, is the payoff worth it?
Yeah,
the end.
and
Yes, that makes more sense.
also, I believe his exact words in our discussion were that these two have earned their relationship more than a greater majority of ones he's seen in fiction.
Okay, that's a bit of a big claim.
No, I even thought that and was just like, damn, that says a lot. And just the turnaround from like not really caring to that, I was just like, well, goddamn.
I suppose fair enough. I don't know, man. Like, there's almost like trying to say it's better than Romeo and Juliet. I don't know. That's a big romance story to claim as
Listen,
a lacking.
Well,
Bumblebee-
no specifics.
Bumblebee is now going in a really good direction with its writing, because, again, just the impact the scene had on everybody was just insane to see, and I think if they keep up with this kind of cutesy style that Bumblebee is going for, to the end of until RWBY ends, it may be considered the best ship in the entire show.
Yeah, I've never really been a ship person. There is one thing I don't want them to do, and this is something that the Flash show has really fucked up on. I really hope they're not going to start turning them into the gay couple trope. I'm not saying this happens frequently, but it is a bit awkward when you just forget about the personalities of the two and they just become the gay couple. It's like, I still want Yang to be, you know, the punch first, ask questions later, and I want Blake to be the same, like, cold, badass ninja she is. I still want that.
I mean, they still are, and they show that in fights.
Yeah, that's what I like, because one of my friends was saying, are they going to just be the gay couple? Is that going to be their main trope? It's like, it's not going to be their main trope. I just hope that it's just not so frequent where they had to keep reminding the audience they're a couple.
Well,
And straight couples kind of fall into that sort of category when they have to tell the viewers they're a couple.
Well, the only one who ever addresses that afterwards is RWBY when she snaps at them.
Yeah,
that's the only time it's mentioned.
The only time this is the thing that I don't think people give enough credit for. RWBY know how to write an LGBT couple because they've clearly made it that in this universe, no one gives a shit what you suck, fuck, or dip your head into.
Yeah, like in Volume 6, when we were introduced to Saffron and Terracotta, and everyone was just like, oh, hey, this is my wife. Hey, what's up?
That was Volume 6. Fucking hell, I feel old.
What'd you say?
Old.
What? What are you laughing at?
What did you say about my wife? Do I even have a wife? I don't know anymore.
I thought we were talking about bees.
Is this about Nicolas Cage?
Oh.
Alright, let's stop before we go on.
Oh, speaking of, years ago and feeling old, kind of want to call out Aaron Zek and Barbara Donkerman for something. Because they've confirmed that they've known that this would happen since before the show started airing, and they've had to keep this secret this whole time. Both of whom are just awful at it, I'm just gonna say. They were never subtle about it.
This romance story was planned for 10 years?
Well,
Jesus.
Well, Barbara talked about it on Always Open, how, of course, when they were cast, they were told some things about their characters beforehand, but they were told that Blake and Yang would fall in love.
So have it be 9 seasons though? I thought they would have done that maybe season 2, season 3.
Well, they were going for a slow burn, and I think after a while, Aaron did keep asking Kerry or just any of the writers, just okay, is it happening this volume? It's no, we're doing a slow burn. It's
I think there's a difference
that's
between
like
a slow burn and just dragging, honestly.
Yeah, that 10 years is a bit much.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Maybe Volume 5, I think that could have been the good moment to do it.
Well, the thing is, in canon, it's only been, 2.
Okay, that may be the case, but for viewers, we've had to wait 10 years for that. I don't know, that's a bit weird. And going back to The Flash, when he hooked up with Iris, that was in Season 2. Yeah, it was already revealed they're going to be a couple. Plus, if you've read the comics, then yeah, you know that. I don't know, man. I feel like 10 years waiting is a bit much.
Well, mate, is there
I was honestly thinking if it didn't happen by this volume, I'd be like, okay, what the hell?
Okay, it will take 10 years for that for you? You are the most patient man I've ever known. No, I have to praise you for that. I'm still waiting for on Good and Evil, the sequel.
Bro, RWBY fans waited so long for Bumblebee just as much as Bleach fans waited for 1,000-Year Blood War.
That's fair enough.
That is fucking wild.
I tell you what, since we probably need to wrap up soon, mate, do you want to add anything else for this, or is there any other highlights you want to go to?
I mean, I kind of wanted to just end it with Bumblebee, and I just want to point out how freaking adorable this Yang face is.
Aw, reminds me of Paige. I mean, what?
But the moment when she realizes, oh no, that's what this is about, and is just like shaking at the knees, like terrified. Like, that face is just adorable.
Oh, she found her Blakey poo.
I hate you. Do not compare Blake to the nicknames Paige gave me. God fucking damn it!
Yeah, I was going to say, how about the Bella poo, but it's like, nah, that just sounds dirty. Okay, so I guess, is that your highlight, mate? Is that what we're ending it on?
I mean, yeah, majority of it is Bumblebee. Like, look, that whole thing where I cried, like, how can it not be?
I suppose that's fair enough. Maybe one day I will find either a death battle or a RWBY moment that makes me cry.
Or just a moment in media. RWBY's not the only thing that's made me cry.
I think he was talking about for himself.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right.
what I meant.
I just meant, like, in media in general.
Fair enough. But I was just saying, maybe there'll be something for me that makes me cry, because there's never been a moment in RWBY that I've cried at. I've been like, oh no to. Then I just quickly... I don't know, I guess I just have that thing where I'm just not emotionally attached to characters, really. So, when one of them dies, or when one of them has a romance, I'm just there like, yay. And then that's it, I just move on. Not when they die, to be clear, I don't go, yay, when they die. Well, I'm just picturing that sound effect now of Apira's death. Sorry.
That
We
hurts
passed
my
this off
Arco
as she-
shipping heart.
Oof.
Now, look on the bright side. Given the colour of her hair, she was almost ready.
I'll
she's
just
well
take solace
done.
that I got Bumblebee, okay?
I really hope this doesn't age well after you just said that. I really pray it doesn't. The lad's curse has struck too many times.
Yeah.
No, okay. I don't think they're gonna have them split up in future volumes,
but-
because you don't make the scene that goddamn beautiful if you're just gonna have them just go, now we changed our minds, like, next season.
That's not... I wasn't saying for a breakup, but let's leave it at that. I don't want the lad's curse to strike.
I'll just be like, Yen's mum's a cannon. Woo!
I guess... Jesus Christ, 30 minutes. Shall we move on to Sean now?
Yeah, sorry, I took a while.
And that was to be expected. I had a feeling this would happen.
Why we made you go first, mate.
Fair enough.
So, highlights for this volume is definitely more so on the writing side of things. Especially for the writing of Neo was done a lot better this time around. Writing the scene where they confront the past selves of each other. I really like that scene a lot.
Oh yeah, that scene was fantastic.
It gave me vibes to something that kind of inspired me to try to get back into making a RWBY video, which I'm still writing out a few more kinks on. Tweaks, whatever.
I was about to say.
I'm working.
Whatever you're into, man, I won't judge
For
you.
some reason, I got the sentence "working out the kinks" mixed up. That's a phrase
Look,
in writing.
like I said, we're not judging you, verbally.
Ay. You know that's not what I meant.
Is that for 5 here?
Anyway, that scene was nice to see. The reveal of it being Jean to Team RWBY though was also a nice highlight. What happened to Jean? When did you get so mature? And everyone just kind of was like, Weiss is sipping
Oh, that
for
Weiss
Jean.
face.
Weiss is sipping for John. For Jean, not John.
So that if I was your number, I was like, listen, bitch, you had time. It's over.
I'll be honest, like, this volume has kind of made me warm up to the idea of White Knight happening. Like,
Oh, is that the name of the ship? I was thinking, like, wait, are you saying for Jean to White Knight Weiss? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't want Jean to become a simp again. That was the reason I hated him.
Hey, to be fair, RWBY ship names are weird sometimes.
They have some clever ones, like crosshairs, prismatic ponytails.
And then I'm reminded of fucking Ladybug is a name for one of them.
I think that one's nice.
Sorry, you mentioned Ladybug. All I can think about is that theme tune I can't get out of my head.
Freezer Burn, that's a good one.
Okay, we're not talking about shit, we're talking about highlights.
Yeah, that was
Please.
But again, like, I got so giddy as well in that final scene when Red Like Roses played in the background. Oh my god. I got so happy with that because it sounded so great.
The meme face right there. Just picturing this is Sean's face whenever he is the imposter and he votes. He managed to get everyone to vote me out.
I'm like, bye bye.
That
Now the killmate. I gotta say though, like, oh my god, like that final fight is also a big highlight, and just, you know, seeing Jean and Team RWBY finally head back to the portal as a big see you later kind of send off is a great way to end the volume, because it's not farewell, it's definitely a see you later for sure.
Sorry, I had Kermit in my throat.
Always fun. Other than that, I thought the clones that Neo made for that tea party were dope. Again, biggest highlight from that is just clapping Ironwood gif.
Need to use that for a lads episode of Death Battle someday.
Yeah, I would say those are some of my big highlights from the show. Definitely, well, this volume. Definitely a really good volume for RWBY.
Is that all? Is there any other things you want to talk about? Spend 20 minutes on?
I'm fine.
I'm only joking about that. Please don't.
No, I'm fine.
honestly, I'm cool with that. If you guys want to go on for ages about your highlights, feel free.
I mean, I do want to, but at the same time, of course, I've got to edit these.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, I think that...
No, if you do have more highlights, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but that's like the main ones that I think of. It's just the writing was fantastic. Herbalist scene kind of made me want to get back into making a RWBY video, which, you know, that's kind of cool, I guess. And again, Sean getting giddy over Red Like Roses because I think that song's fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Even if you, whether you like RWBY or not, the soundtrack's dope.
Yeah, like... That's also something I can say with like franchises like Sonic. It's like, look, say whatever you will, soundtracks are a fucking banger. Like, you cannot deny that.
Yes, but those are my highlights. I shall pass it on to the man who's made mini reviews now.
Yeah, so people are pretty familiar now. I'm starting to do mini reviews. I'm also going to be doing those for Death Battles as well. So let's talk about my highlights. Of course, it was Weiss. She was just really funny. She's become one of my favourite characters. Like, I feel like out of all the 4 girls, okay, this is before this season, I should be clear. I feel like though Weiss has definitely become like the best matured character. Not physically, that's all Jean's category.
Or it was.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I guess we've got to say, yeah, he's no longer an adult now. I'm a bit mixed on that, but I can look past it. Plus, I'm pretty sure Miles doesn't want to keep doing that mature voice. So I can probably understand him.
I love his like celebrating that he's young and then just going, "Wait, this is what I sounded like."
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into it because Sean pretty much established. It's kind of weird talking about RWBY now. I'm struggling not to say Sean and Jean because they sound so similar.
That's my RWBY persona. There's my new RWBY persona, Jean.
Oh, that would just be such a fucking nightmare.
Did you just say Jean?
Exactly, because I get called that at work. Funny enough, because I have coworkers that speak primarily Spanish, and they always think my name is John, so they started calling me Sean John.
I like that. I'm going to introduce you that as next Lads Discuss Death Battle.
No.
I've had someone at work call me Spider-Man.
Oh, you're lucky.
Which one?
Someone call me a cunt.
Which one? That's the real question.
Oh, there's so many different kinds. Like, who cares?
To be honest, if someone called you Miles Morales, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what? Alright, so highlights for me, so obviously Weiss being the best character in the season, and despite the fact I said I didn't give a shit, Bumblebee moment is just so fucking cute. I've even gone back to watch it. It's like, you know what? I know these aren't my favourite characters anymore, but come on, man. That is adorable. And of course, though, the big highlights for me was the rivalry between Neo and RWBY. Because everyone knows this about me, villain stories, I think, are the most important aspect to anything. Not just, oh, who's the villain, but, you know, what's their drive and what makes them intimidating. Because Neo didn't have a semblance buff, I didn't feel threatened she was going to be the main antagonist.
Oh no, if she didn't get a buff, then, like, if all the Team RWBY fought her, they would have whooped her shit.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be intimidated by her. Then her killing a Jabberwocky,
Walker.
depend. Yeah, sorry, Alice in Wonderland, sorry.
Nah, it's cool.
But that made her intimidating because she now possessed the only creature that can kill off people in this world. Which, that's good reason to be terrified of her. Of course, just how she went all, as I said in this review, Joker mode. Not as in like making wisecracks and stuff like that. The fact that behind that adorable look, that she can be sadistic. How she broke RWBY is such a good scene. It showed just how far Neo would go in the pursuit of revenge. Like, I'm sorry to say this, Last of Us Part 2, but you did your revenge story shit. RWBY did it much better than you, right after your game.
With a character that can't talk.
Yeah. Despite the fact she had very little dialogue, she managed to get more of her pain than someone like Ellie from Last of Us Part 2. I don't want to rip into the game too much. I know people really like that game. If there's one thing I do agree with a lot of people on, the revenge story just didn't work. However, in this case, the reason it works so much is because, one, even if you never read the novel, you can understand why Neo, like, that's what I love about it. They physically told a story, visually, I should say, because all Neo cared about was her hatred for RWBY. Now, how do you get that across with a mute? Because of her powers, she shaped into RWBY and showed anguish. So you could understand clearly, and if you've been watching RWBY since Volume 1, which I'll be really confused if you jumped onto RWBY through Volume 9, you're going to be very confused. You can see all the parts with, like, what happened with Torchwick, why Neo hates RWBY so much. Because Neo has made perhaps the best villain in this whole RWBY story now, because her rivalry is built up so much. In fact, it's kind of sad, because they've always tried to hint that Cinder and RWBY were going to have a rivalry through a majority of the opening zone and fight, but honestly, Neo has had more of a rivalry, because here's the thing, Neo doesn't know that RWBY isn't responsible for Torchwick's death. It was in a way both Neo and Torchwick's own fault. Of course, no, Neo doesn't know that, and she's just thrived on just getting revenge. What I did like was, many stories when they have their revenge, they either just go through the route of, like, having to verbally tell the viewers, like, oh, I feel bad, I did this horrible thing. But Neo's expressions, credit to the animators, man. Like, the fact they managed to get through guilt, despair, and tragedy in just that one look of Neo after she killed RWBY, like, that is insane. But that how Neo has probably more villain character than the majority of the RWBY villains. It's like, what was Adam's story? I want to kill humans and also hate Blake. Okay. Just telling us. Cinder, I want power. Why? I'll let you know in 7 seasons. It's like, okay, fair enough. Neo was able to convey her story in just very few stories. And it led to a really good redemption arc and a good end to the rivalry. It was very a satisfying story. And I've been kind of holding back on this though, but this is going to be a bit of a negative highlight. I think I do need to go into more details about this because I'm seen as the monster for a lot of my RWBY friends.
Oh, is it time for Vale roasting Little?
Let's talk about this little shit. Okay, listen. I don't hate the fact Little is adorable. Here's the thing. can handle adorable little characters like Pikachu from Pokemon, the Pokemon anime. You know, he's adorable, but he's also a badass. R2-D2 from Star Wars, he's just meant to be the adorable, snarky droid that's with everyone. But you know what? He has many moments of highlights. In hell, in the prequel trilogy, he incinerates 2 battle droids. It's like, he may be adorable, but you know what? He fucking rocks. What's my gripe with Little? It was pointless. I'm saying that. Little is pointless to this whole story. Because when Little appears, every joke they do with Little is just, I'll guide you. That joke got so tiresome so quickly.
That sounds like those Among Us BB trying to guide us to where to go on the Among Us map.
Like, BB is more relevant for Among Us than Little is to RWBY.
Hey, payback's a bitch.
Oh, fuck you. BB is precious and deserves to be on Among Us. Little does nothing. And do you know what really?
Now, Lol does stuff.
Or what? Get stomped on, freaking falls asleep. And do you know what really
the end.
got on my nerves?
The end.
That's actually what I was gonna...
Okay.
Go ahead, say it.
In the finale, Little is ascended as somewhat. And when Team RWBY speak to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith talks about like everything that the team have done ever after, the impact that they had, and how even just the smallest act of kindness can bring such a remarkable change. Like Little to somewhat. And that, gives RWBY hope again. And also, that's another scene I cry at, just like the goodbye with the team and somewhat.
Allow me to provide my response to this. I want to know why Little doesn't work, especially in that scene. Do you know why that scene I just don't like? Because it's meant to be built up. Sure, RWBY did a lot of good for this town. Do you want to know what else? Team RWBY have done that as well for a majority of Ever After. They've done good. The little town with the paper people, they allowed them to ascend after defending them, and they became good. They've already gotten that. RWBY herself has already gone through that point, like, she's gotten her optimism back. That little end bit with Neo and RWBY. You know what? Despite the horrors, they've both settled their differences and both have a mutual respect. Little coming back and just being like, oh, I don't know who I am. And then the team RWBY going like, oh, you're a protector, you're a guide, you're adorable. I'm like, fuck off! Little was pointless! All Little was just meant to be adorable and used for comic relief. But you know what? Weiss was the comic relief and she was funny. Little was pointless and annoying. If you have a character that's just annoying, and then you try to have this little moment where it's like, oh, look, Little's become better. Too bad Little's still annoying. If you cut out Neo a Little, nothing changed. Could have still had that moment where RWBY got back her optimism, because she did without Little. So just at the end, but they're like, oh, let's just also have this up, just so we have Little have some purpose in the story. But Little served no purpose. Ironically, Little served little to the story. I'm sorry, RWBY people, if you really like Little, power to you. I couldn't stand Little, and I'm just glad we're not going to see that character again. I don't want to always come off as negative when it comes to that character, but I just really don't like it. But I don't want to end my highlights on saying negative. The other highlight is, for me, as well as Dawn. Because, similar to Weiss, my personal opinion about the guy has really drastically changed over the years. Because Volume 1, 2, and even 3, I didn't give a shit about him. In fact, if he was the one that died instead of Pyrrha, I wouldn't have cheered, but I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. I would have just been like, No. Nothing of value was lost or nothing was gained, so yeah, we can live with it. But when it came to later seasons, he was starting to grow on me, but he started becoming a really good character for me, and it only got better thanks to Volume 9. Because before, I thought he was just I didn't care for him. Later, he's okay. This season made him a great character. Because you could see that despite having this heroism side, he was still a broken man who was just so obsessed with trying to be the hero, staying relevant. Once he finally accepted that, you know what? I can't always be in control, I can't always be the hero. He becomes a better man, I like that. Jean has had the best character arc, next to Ruby Rose and Weiss. And it made me really appreciate the character. That's what I really like about the season. Characters I didn't originally care about, I end up really liking. So that's honestly my final highlight. Just seasons made these characters likable to me.
Yeah, I've had that with a whole bunch of things. I get you.
I think how long have we been recording for, Sean?
Almost 2 hours.
Okay, I think that's a good point to leave on. So, this was Let's Discuss RWBY Volume 9. I think we do plan to do more RWBY content for the future, even if, Volume 10 or 11 are the last ones. I do want to do more RWBY content.
I feel like there's still at least going to be, a good chunk of volumes, because every, arc when we're in a certain kingdom, it's always, at least 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
We're going to start the Vacuo arc, which we did not mention we saw Vacuo at the end.
I mean, there's so much that happened, we just had to get to the highlights, really.
Look, man, to sum
Yeah,
up an
true.
entire volume of a show in a limited time span is difficult.
Will say, actually, before we do end off, and someone made this tweet, which I really like. When they do see Vacuo, you see different ships from different areas of Remnant, showing that RWBY's efforts have united the entire Remnant. It's like, oh, that's actually really good visual storytelling. That might not be the case. Maybe there's some dispute going on, but that's nice. I just hope they don't do a Rise of Skywalker moment with the ship thing.
I'm just thinking,
Go that
the
cheesy.
amount of returns we could see in Volume 10.
I think they're going to set it up as some sort of Avengers Endgame style.
Everyone is here. At bare minimum, we are going to see Teams Coffee and Sun again.
Yeah.
Just give Scarlet and Sage stuff to do.
Yeah. If not, they've done plenty in the book, so it's not too bad.
I can't even remember what Sage did in the book.
That's a you problem.
No, I went through it again. It's just he's kind of just there for the most part.
Well,
now you know how I feel about Little.
Well, if people want us to discuss Volume 10 when and if it does happen, let us know.
I thought about even going back to previous seasons and discussing them. But,
I'm just going to say for Team RWBY and Vacuo, Blake, get yourself out of that catsuit. It's a skin-tight black catsuit. That's not a good thing to wear in the desert. Girls, you need to get yourself some new outfits.
they're going to.
Yeah, which I hope will be revealed at RTX.
Then you'll buy the plushies of them.
I mean, I'd buy the plushies of the Atlas outfits if they were made. Come on, RWBY. Where were they?
Outfits.
Okay.
Not sure if that's an unpopular opinion or not, but I don't know. I like the previous outfits more. Especially Blake's jacket. I don't know. That looks kind of cool. But, all right, so shall we finally do the outro? Unless anyone else wants to make one more comment.
Nah, let's just go with the outro.
All right then. So, people, so this is the first Lads Discuss RWBY. We'll probably plan more RWBY content like this in the future. Me and mate are doing the Justice League review. I'm not sure you plan to be on that unless you want to join. Not opposed.
We'll see what happens.
All right then. So, and yeah, I will put the poll up. Who's better? Who's more adorable, Juniper or Little? And you better vote Juniper. And don't just vote Little just to piss me off. I swear to God.
Don't make
And with
Bill
all
a
that said-
little mad with your bias.
Oh, I would be mad, but we've been.
That
told
would
to
be
do
somewhat entertaining.
that. Kill me. Donkey Kong, kill me.
No.
Okay.
Damn it.
Sounded because of how your audio is. It sounded like you farted.
That's how we
I don't
killed
wanna...
you.
Oh god, I got Wario'd.
You died by that awful of a fart.
Ugh.
That is canon.
All
My
that
farts
said
are
and-
absolutely toxic.
With all that said and done, crushing my thumbs here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, stick around. We'll have more content like this in the future. Sean.
Thank you, folks, for
Oh,
watching.
it goes. Wait, no, it goes, mate. Fuck it. Sean, go ahead.
Thank you, folks, for watching. I hope you enjoyed Let's Discuss Ruby. Let us know your thoughts on the volume down below. What are your highlights? And please don't spite Bill. Thank you, folks, for watching. I will see you all later.
Be honest with your votes. All right. And you're ready, mate.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Go check out mine or Sean's channels. Also, if you like Bumblebee, could give my RWBY fanfiction a read. Just saying. It's them married and with a kid. It's pretty cute. And speaking of, did you like their kiss? Did you cry like a little bitch like I did?
Okay, you didn't cry like a bitch, okay?
I'm just making a joke out of myself.
What manly
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see you whenever. Also, vote little.
Fired.
Buzz, buzz, motherfucker.
Blah, 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 blah.